Hello there. Welcome back to Jennie Designs with Paper, and thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I'm working on the cover for an art journal, so get comfy and let's get crafty. This is the A5 size binder I use for my mission inspiration mid-month mini missions, and the cover is blank and lonely and needs to be decorated. I have a piece of lightweight chipboard that's just packaging from something that I've trimmed down to about 6.5 by 8.5 inches. I have this Tim Holtz, I think it's the burlap stencil. I have the Dilutions alphabet stamp set. I have a few random pieces of ephemera that are mostly alphabet based that I have pulled out of my ephemera drawer. And then I have some pattern paper. And this is my jumping off point. Because the mini missions are randomly selected letters each month, I wanted to use these alphabet papers, and I love this black floral chalkboard look. But I also like this opposite look, and I'm trying to figure out a way to put those two together because they're opposites, right? They're complete opposite. But the problem I'm having is that I don't have enough of this white background to cover the whole journal cover. So I had a plan. The first thing I'm going to do is take out this clear gesso. This is Art Basics, I think. I don't know what brand it is. It's clear gesso. That can be used as an adhesive. Totally did not know that. That's something I learned new in the last year. I'm going to go ahead and just not worry too much about being fidgety on the corners and edges because I can trim it off. But obviously it's not covering the whole side or the whole front of my art journal. I am just going to take this used up Amazon gift card and flatten that paper down. I find that it is easier to get paper on or adhere together with fewer bubbles with this clear gesso, but it dries really fast. So, pluses and cons. So the next thing I'm going to do is figure out how to add in this paper that I love. And I decided to go ahead and trim it down to about 8 inches wide, which is wider than my cover, but it will give me enough to work with. And then I'm going to tear it. I'm going to have that white background peeking out from the back. And I'm just starting in the upper corner, and I'm pulling my left hand forward so the more raw edge stays on the back. And then I decided to do the same thing on the bottom. But I'm tearing it a little less severe of an angle, so I will still have some of that back paper shining through, but not quite as much. And then I'm going to do the same thing and just adhere that down with this clear gesso. I like the juxtaposition. Oh my goodness, I had that word juxtaposition. There we go, juxtaposition. Ha! Words are hard and I got it anyway. Juxtaposition of the black background with the white background. Unfortunately, I didn't pay too much attention to where I was tearing, and I didn't get a lot of those ABCs from the black background paper. But whatever, because it's going to be mostly covered up anyway. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some clear gesso to the top of that paper. I'm going to dry it with my heat tool, and then I'm going to trim it down with my Fiskars wire-guided trimmer. And I'm just using this trimmer so I can put it right up against the edge of that chipboard and trim it off nice and clean. Okay, so now that my paper is all dried and trimmed, I need to add some more texture to the background. And normally what I would do is add some black stamping or something, but that's going to be a little difficult. So I've pulled out my white, what is this stuff called? Texture paste. Oh my goodness, white texture paste and this burlap stencil. My first inclination was to use my ABC stencil, but there's already a lot of ABCs on here, and I'm adding some different texture. And I'm just going through 3 little sections. Some are going up and down, some are going sideways. Each section is a little bit different size than the other, and it's just to add some texture to that background. So these are my ephemera pieces that I'm using. I think this one here is actually from a Tim Holtz pack. And I want to frame it with this kind of light green, minty green paper. I felt like it needed a little bit more of a dramatic edge because I'm going to slide it into that pocket that's over on the left-hand side of the screen. So I'm just going to use some double-sided adhesive and back that with the mint paper and trim it down. And then when I slide it into this pocket, it doesn't quite get as lost. And I like that look. Now this pocket has that little speech bubble on the front that I want to cover up. I don't need that. But also in my Tim Holtz ephemera pack, I found these playing cards that have alphabets and numbers, but alphabets. And then I've got this little coin-looking piece that has the brown and the mint and the gray and the red. So it pulls all of those colors together. So I just need to adhere this down now. I decided to go for the bottom left-hand corner there just because. No reason, just because. And I'm going to put some of that clear gesso on the back of the pocket. I'm not worried too much about the edges curling or being perfectly adhered for two reasons. If they stick up, they stick up. But also, it's going to be in the front cover of that binder. So even if they stick up, nobody's even going to be fidgeting with them. They're protected. So whatever, right? So now that I have my pocket on there, I am going to go ahead and stick that alphabet chart down inside my pocket, kind of at an angle. I will put a little bit of that adhesive, there we go, adhesive on the back of my alphabet chart, just to keep it from falling out of the pocket. Like if I drop my art journal or something, and let's face it, I probably will. And then I'm going to place my playing cards down here in the kind of the right-hand corner. Same thing, just using that gesso to adhere them down, not worrying about the edges, getting just a good layer of that adhesive in the middle of the card. And so far, I'm liking this. I did toy with the idea of adding that black paper to the background of those cards, but it just got to be a little too much. I am going to adhere that coin down on the front of those cards there, kind of sort of covering up the numbers because they're not quite as important as the letters. So for the title of my cover, I just want to stamp Mission Inspiration MMM, right? Mid-month mini. It's the mid-month mini mission. So I'm stamping that out with some black archival ink. It is waterproof. I don't have to worry about it smearing. And I'm using these Dylusions ABCs. They're kind of a funky alphabet type. They work perfect. I'm going to trim each one of those words down with my Fiskars trimmer. Just get it nice and close. And my plan is to just find a place on my page to put this, because when I was creating my page, I did not plan where to put my title. I knew it was going to have a title because it is the cover page of a book, right? I just didn't plan for that. So we'll have to figure that out. But also, after I stamped out the MMM, I realized I wanted to add the words mid-month mini. And I have this old Stampin' Up! Library, like the rotary stamp. So I have stamped out mid-month mini and trimmed it all down. And now I've got to figure out where to put it all. The alphabet stamp is a little bit bigger than I thought it was. My pocket and my alphabet chart are a little bit bigger than I thought they were. But it's okay. I'm going to make it work because that's what we do. We make it work. I don't have to worry about leaving room for the holes on the right or the left-hand side because I'm not punching holes in this to go in a binder. Like I said, it's just going to slip down in the front cover of that binder. And I did Mission Inspiration MMM, and then I put the mid-month mini underneath the 3 M's, and then thought maybe it would look better the other way around. Gratefully, the gesso doesn't dry that fast, and I was able to use my little crafty pick to pick that up and relocate them. And other than drying time, it's done. The cover is all complete. So here's the cover after it's been dried back and everything's almost perfectly dry. I really like how it turned out. There's a lot of opposites there. And this is what it looks like in the front of my art journal. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I have added a couple of other videos here for you to watch, as well as a subscribe button. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you did. Leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I hope you have a fabulous day.